Good afternoon, good evening. Haven't been on here in a bit. I'll be answering any advanced parole or DACA questions. Estaré contestando sus preguntas sobre advanced parole o DACA. Así que no tengan miedo y hagan sus preguntas. Yo viajé con advanced parole el año pasado. Lo usé 2 veces y ahora estoy en proceso de obtener mi tarjeta verde. Metí la aplicación de ajuste de estatus en marzo y todavía estoy esperando. Espero que me la aprueben pronto. Pero si tienen cualquier otra pregunta sobre Advanced Parole y DACA, no tengan miedo de hacerlas. If you guys have any questions over Advanced Parole or DACA, don't be afraid. I traveled with Advanced Parole last year twice. I went on airplane the first time and then came back through Laredo the second time, through land. I don't recommend coming or crossing back through land in Texas. There has been a lot of bad experience recently, and that does not mean that you can't come through land driving. It's just, it's better if you travel by airplane because there are still a lot of uninformed officers. Your AP is still valid. You can still cross. It's just a lot of officers are still uninformed. So what questions do you guys have for me today? ¿Qué preguntas tienen para mí el día de hoy? Si ustedes quieren agendar una cita individual con Dreamers Together, ustedes pueden mandar un número de texto a este número que está en la pantalla. If you guys want a one-on-one with Dreamers Together, you guys can text this number right here that's on the screen, 203-437-7566. Remember, there is a real person answering your messages, so please don't send more than one message, and please be patient. Recuerden que tenemos una persona que sí está contestando los mensajes. Si mandan un número de texto a este número, así que por favor no traten de mandar mensajes múltiples y tengan paciencia con nosotros. All right, any questions? No me ha entrado ninguna pregunta. Don't be shy, no tengan pena. Primera pregunta, Bianca. Hola, disculpa, metí mi aplicación el 22 de mayo, pero aún no he recibido nada. Reciente, solo recibo cuando ellos lo recibieron. ¿Será normal? Sí es normal, apenas están procesando las aplicaciones de mayo. Apenas, creo que esta semana vi las primeras aprobaciones de mayo, de la primera semana de mayo, así que si ya te mandaron el recibo, deberías de estar bien. ¿A qué oficina lo mandaste? ¿Ya hiciste tus huellas? ¿O ya recibiste tu carta que van a rehusar las huellas? ¿Y usted lo hizo sola? Nada de huellas y nada. ¿Qué dice cuando usted se mete a ver el número de recibo en Case Tracker? Luis Hernandez, how long are DACA renewals taking for June 9th? It depends. I've seen people that have been approved in 1 week, and I've seen other approvals that have taken a couple of months. They are really all over the place, which is unfair, to be honest. But yeah, there's really no set timeline or time frame for DACA approvals. Gris Domínguez, hola, tengo una duda que he mirado aquí. Uno puede escoger a dónde mandar el paquete. Ya voy a hacer ajuste de estatus por mi hijastro. Tú no puedes escoger a dónde mandarlo. Todo depende de qué estado usted viva. Hay diferentes centros, dependiendo del estado, dependiendo de dónde usted vive, que se debe de mandar. Por ejemplo, yo vivo en Dallas. En Dallas se manda al centro de Louisville, dependiendo si lo mandas por FedEx, UPS, y también tienen otra dirección si lo mandas por, dependiendo que lo vas a mandar. Pero está en Dallas también. Eli Núñez, ¿qué ocupo para sacar el Advanced Parole? Esto depende por cuál motivo usted quiere aplicar. Los motivos son educacionales. Si usted está inscrita en una escuela, puede usar esa razón para viajar. Razón humanitaria, si usted tiene algún familiar enfermo. Razón de trabajo, si usted tiene alguna conferencia en otro país y su trabajo le está pidiendo que viaje, puede aplicar por esas razones. Ebony, I'm nervous to apply for AP. Any advice? I have an elderly grandma who I haven't seen for 20 plus years who is diabetic. I hope to get approved as long as possible. Currently pregnant, so I'm going to wait till I deliver my baby in December. It's okay to be nervous. It's normal. No one has been denied entry with the proper use of advanced parole. And whenever you're ready, just remember, read our guides, or you can also book a one-on-one with the number on the screen. Gris, yo viví en California y cuánto se está tardando para probar si sabe. No sé a qué oficina se manda si usted vive en California, pero he visto que los casos que se están procesando en California se están procesando muy rápido. Vi un caso que se aprobó en menos de 2 meses, pero esto depende, ¿ok? No todos los casos tienen el mismo tiempo de proceso. Bianca, solo dice que fue recibida y que me mandaron más información y fue mandada a Nebraska, pero solo eso. Si quieres, mañana puedes chatear con Emma, que ese es el servicio automático de USCIS. Puedes meter y mandar un chat o hablar con un representante. Yas de la Torre. Hola, ya metí DACA, pero solo quedó pendiente hasta que vuelvan a aceptar. Mi hijo va a cumplir 21 años el próximo año. Mis padres son residentes. ¿Puedo arreglar papeles? ¿Usted tiene una entrada legal? Eso cuenta. Si usted no tiene entrada legal, tendría que hacer proceso consular. Luis Espinosa, ¿se puede pedir AP si mi tía aplicó para VAWA y ya tiene su permiso de trabajo? ¿Estás preguntando por tu tía? Para ella, ok. Ella falleció, es que falleció mi abuelito, su papá de ella, y quiere ir. No sé si VAWA permite Advanced Parole, porque VAWA es otra categoría. Así que si quieres puedes hacer una publicación en el grupo, pero no tengo esa información. No creo, pero no estoy segura. Ebony, I'm more nervous to get denied on AP. Is there many denials? So you have a strong reason, which I think you said one of your family members is diabetic. That's a great reason. The reason that I applied for advanced parole was for humanitarian reason for my sick grandmother, and I was approved for 5 months, multiple entries. USCIS will not straight up deny an application. They will always send a request for evidence, aka an RFE, for anything that they need. If something is missing, if you didn't certify a translation, if they need more evidence, but they are not going to deny an application first. They will always send an RFE. They're just requesting more evidence. If you provide them the sufficient evidence, they will proceed with your application. If you do not, or you fail to send any additional evidence, then you will get a denial. Caleb, for AOS for the form, guys, I am only answering advanced parole applications and just regular, very, very limited knowledge on adjustment of status. Caleb, I suggest you join our AOS group and you can post that question that you have there. I apologize. Although I am doing adjustment of status, I obviously did it through Dreamers Together. It's a lot more difficult and a lot of more tedious paperwork. So yes, ask any AOS questions in our other group. Panoeli, hola, si quiero mandar mi second AP, ¿tengo que mandar copia de la licencia? No, no es necesario. La licencia no es necesaria porque recuerda que no todo el mundo maneja. Ebony, awesome, thank you. That makes me feel more confident. Yes, feel confident in yourself. And also, while you're at it, you should read stories of people that have gone out with Advanced Parole. That way, you don't feel as nervous to travel abroad. Recuerden, nosotros tenemos guías para aplicar para Advanced Parole y también en nuestro canal de YouTube tenemos un video de cómo llenar la forma de Advanced Parole. La forma de Advanced Parole no es una forma difícil para llenar. La mitad de las preguntas solo son a dónde vives, tu dirección, fecha de nacimiento, lugar de nacimiento, así que ustedes ya deberían de saber esa información. Lo más difícil es recaudar la evidencia y, claro, las traducciones, pero la aplicación no es nada difícil para llenar. Vayan a la página de uscis.gov y ahí pueden descargar la aplicación, pero la aplicación es lo más fácil para llenar. Si ustedes llenan su aplicación de DACA, es casi igual. Sandy, hey girl, I just got my AP approved, but I'm so scared to go out because what if they don't let me back in? Hey Sandy, I'm not sure if you just joined, but nobody has ever been denied entry with a proper use of advanced parole. Just make sure that you don't leave before your approved dates or you don't try to come in after your approved dates. Okay, then you should be fine. Panoeli, ¿recomiendas mandar el AP mientras está renovando el permiso? I would wait until your DACA is approved. That way you have your dates. Caleb, if you had birth certificates translated and certified years ago, can you still use those today or should I get them recertified, signed with more current date? Unless the translation changed, there's no need to retranslate because what would you be translating if it's already been translated? I mean, if you want, you can, but there's no need to. Remember to check out our guides and also check out our Advanced Parole YouTube video. A ver, siguiente pregunta. Ismael, process for AP for dental finally available to save for application fee. We have a step-by-step guide so in our Facebook group. So I suggest you join, but basically the gist is, of course, the Advanced Parole application needs to be filled out. You need to have a quote from a dentist in the US and then a quote from a dentist in whatever country you wish to go. It does not have to be your birth country. Let's say you were born in Colombia, but you found a dentist in Mexico. You can get a quote from a dentist in Mexico or vice versa. You were born in Mexico, want to go to another country. You can do that as long as you have a quote. And then you would have to translate those quotes and then your written affidavit. Sandy Chas, so I've heard that everyone coming back with AP, once they enter, they go to El Cuartito. What do they check there? So El Cuartito is secondary inspection. My experience through secondary inspection at DFW, I waited about half an hour. There was a lot of people returning that day. They didn't ask me any questions, but you can use our search bar and you can type Cuartito or secondary inspection and you'll see the types of questions people have been asked. Some officers have asked, how long were you there? What did you go for? What's your address? Generic questions. You know, most don't go into depth. They're not going to interrogate you. So remember, just always answer truthfully. Diaz Blanquita, I want to apply for AP to get dental work done over there since I don't have health insurance at the moment. Can you guys help out filling out? Yes, you can send a text over here, 203-437-7566 to set up an appointment. And how do you get a dental quote? You call a dentist and you go get an estimate or a quote. Even though you don't have insurance, you can still go to a dental office, ask, hey, you know, how much is it going to cost if I want to get a quote for my dental treatment? You'll go make an appointment. They'll check you out. They'll let you know what your dental plan is. Okay, thank you so much for my dental plan. Then you call another dentist in a country and say, hey, I have this dentist plan. Are you able to give me a quote for your dentist over there, for the dentist over there? And yeah, you'll be able to get a quote. A lot of dentists do want to see you in person first, but let them know that, you're unable to at the moment. Never mention it's for immigration purposes. Just say, hey, I need a quote. If you have x-rays, send them the x-rays, but they should be able to help you out with making a dental plan. Yes, that's the whole reason of advanced parole if you're doing dental purposes, because you are asking to go abroad for a reason. So it doesn't have to be Mexico, as I stated earlier. It can be whatever country that you choose, but it has to be from a dentist. Elizabeth Rivera, hola chulana, pregunta, mi papá está en Tijuana y está enfermo de la diabetes, ¿puedo pedir una petición para salir? Si usted tiene DACA o TPS, usted puede pedir una petición para salir. Va a necesitar una constancia médica. How long has advanced parole been an option for DACA? I just learned about it last year. We were paroled in January thanks to groups like this one. I was always told by lawyers that consular process was the only option for my wife after we got married. So I found out about advanced parole in 2021 on Facebook. But a lot of members did travel with advanced parole prior to Donald Trump's inauguration. So 2016, 2015. So it's been around for a while. However, not many members talked about it, which is unfortunate because it's like gatekeeping really good information and very beneficial information. So imagine if more people talked about it back then. Many more of us would have had the option to do it back then. I didn't know AP was a thing in 2016 before Trump got elected or put in office. So I would have been able to go see my grandfather one last time before his passing. But yeah, it's been around for a long time. It wasn't around when Donald Trump was in office, but it was reinstated after he was gone. But yeah, that's why I always say it's very important to share our group, share this knowledge, guys, because you never know who has DACA or who can benefit from advanced parole. Sandy Cha, just wanted to say thank you for giving me the courage to apply for AP. I did everything on my own with you. And after 33 years, I'll be returning to my beautiful Durango, Mexico. I am so happy that you're going to be able to visit your family. Ok, Elizabeth, si tienes DACA, empieza por leer las guías bajo la razón humanitaria. Vas a necesitar una constancia médica del doctor de tu papá, tu acta de nacimiento, el acta de nacimiento de tu papá. Recuerda que todos los documentos tienen que estar traducidos y también vas a necesitar una declaración explicando la necesidad por la cual usted necesita viajar. Si quiere más asistencia, usted puede mandar un mensaje de texto a este número para agendar una cita individual. Lawyers didn't talk about it either. Yes, and a lot of them are still misinformed and are charging a hand and a foot to apply for advanced parole. There was a post earlier that I saw that said, oh, my lawyer said I can only travel for one day. Imagine paying thousands of dollars and your lawyer is telling you, you can only travel for one day. That's just absolutely absurd. So guys, you can do this on your own or you can do it with the help of our organization. Our organization is a nonprofit and is accredited with USCIS. Glenda López, hi Gaby, estoy muy agradecida con Dreamers Together por proporcionar las guías. Al fin mandé mi AP el 24 de julio. Ya me llegó la confirmación que lo recibieron y ahora me llegó para ir a las huellas por todo. Yes, muy bien. Ok, muchas gracias. Sí, de nada. Recuerden que todas las guías están en nuestro grupo de Dreamers Together. También tenemos un video en YouTube de cómo llenar la forma, la aplicación de Advanced Pro, el I-131. Yes, please read our guides. Díaz, Blanquita, Esmeralda, Any quotes that you get can be sent on WhatsApp, email, text. It doesn't have to be the original. Is there a number we can text to get some guidance on AOS? It's the same number on the screen. Luis Garcia, how could you get your money back from a lawyer if you paid up front and have a contract with them? I am not sure. You did sign a contract, so most contracts don't allow you to get your money back. But if you feel that they are not being good or they're not being loyal or telling you the truth, then you can report them to the state bar. Itzel Sosa, I have a sealed misdemeanor case. Is it safe to apply for AP? Yes, it's safe to apply. It's a misdemeanor. Have you been able to renew your DACA ever since the misdemeanor? If yes, then yes, it's safe. Just don't commit a crime while your advanced parole is pending. Don't commit a crime while you're out on advanced parole, and everything should be fine. Karen Montiel, for multiple entries with AP, do they send you different approvals? Or with the same approval, can you go in and out? And by multiple times, how many times can you go? You're going to receive a approval that's going to have the dates that you can travel. And your approval is going to have one entry or multiple entries. You can travel within your approved time frame as many times as you like with the same paper. Multiple entries is multiple entries. It's not 3 entries. It's not 4 entries. It's multiple entries. So as many times as you like within the given time frame. All right, Lois, if they haven't provided services stated on contract, report them to the state bar. Report them to the state bar. I'm not sure if you have the lawyer's ID or their bar number, but you can report the whole freaking the whole freaking law office. Reach out to your state bar. You're able to report them. Fernanda, my sister wants to renew her DACA online, but she lost her card. She saw the video and it said that she needs to submit her receipt from previous year and an ID with birth certificate. Is this true? It's on our renewal video, then yes, it's accurate. Remember, guys, we wouldn't lie to you. This is a accredited organization from USCIS, so if you don't have the physical card, then use that as backup. Consuelo, hola, mi hijo está a punto de cumplir sus 21 años y ya tengo mi entrada legal. ¿Cuándo puedo meter mi aplicación? El día que él cumpla 21. Así que ya vete recaudando los documentos. Únete a nuestro grupo AOS, Dreamers Together. Ese grupo es para ajuste de estatus. Así que ya ve recaudando los papeles y el día que él cumpla 21, usted puede mandar su aplicación. No tiene que esperar si ya tiene 21 años. Consuelo, usted necesita meterse a nuestra página AOS-Dreamers Together para ver qué documentos van a ser necesarios, ¿ok? Van a ser, son varias formas. Yo no me acuerdo de memoria, pero únete a nuestro grupo. Si usted necesita más asistencia con eso, también ofrecemos citas, pero las citas son muy limitadas ya que el proceso de AOS son más documentos, más formas que se tienen que llenar. Así que únete a ese grupo y si tenemos, ¿cómo se dice? Citas para agendar, no No se olvide de agendar una cita. Oh, gracias, Consuelo. Ok, ¿qué otras preguntas tienen? No voy a estar contestando muchas preguntas sobre ajuste de estatus porque no soy la experta en eso. Puedo contestar sus preguntas generales sobre el ajuste de estatus, pero si quieren más información, únanse a nuestro otro grupo. Ok, ¿qué otras preguntas tienen, chicos? ¿Qué otras preguntas? Ana Romero, ¿todavía necesitamos nuestra cartilla de vacuna de COVID para aplicar? No, ya no es necesario tener la vacuna para regresar al país, pero sigue siendo un requisito para hacer el ajuste de estatus. Así que si piensa ajustar su estatus en el futuro, va a necesitar la vacuna de COVID. Y no hay, exceptions para esa vacuna. La tiene que tener. Ok, ¿qué otras preguntas tienen, chicos? All right, where can we find the AOS group? The AOS group is AOS-Streamers Together. So it's the same, just AOS in front. ¿Qué otras preguntas tienen? What other questions do you guys have? I'll be here maybe like 10 more minutes, 10, 15 more minutes. No tengan pena, don't be shy. And remember to read our guides. They are there for a reason. Read the guides, even if you don't have a reason yet to apply for advanced parole, it's always good to know the reasons that you can apply for. All right, Dulce Salinas. Hola, buenas tardes. El 21 no me aprobaron mi EP, me mandaron a pedir más evidencias, pero me dice que tengo hasta el 6 de septiembre y otro que dice el 19 de noviembre. No le entiendo muy bien. ¿Puede publicar lo que le mandaron a usted? Pero sugiero que ya mande su RFE, el Request for Evidence. Lo tiene que mandar pronto porque el 6 de septiembre ya se está acercando. Luis Garcia, when we make an appointment with you guys, which person gets appointed to us? I'm not sure. I am not sure. Pero todavía no me ha llegado la carta. ¿Usted tiene una cuenta con USCIS a donde puede ver si ya está el documento? También puede llamar a USCIS o puede chatear con Emma, que es la asistente virtual de USCIS. Mira, sí, ok. Tienes una cuenta con USCIS, puedes ir a Documents. Ahí va a estar el RFE. Usted también puede meter los documentos en línea. Jessica González, hola, para IP Dental tengo la cotización con y sin aseguranza. ¿Puedo usar el de sin aseguranza? Sí. Ray Fernandez, can you guys show an I-485 step-by-step on YouTube for us? I don't know if that's in the works, but I can definitely tell Natalie, who does our AOS videos. But that would be very useful. It's just very hard because unlike AP, where everything it's pretty much the same across the board, adjustment of status, it's just a lot of tedious information that varies by person. So I'm sure that's why we haven't made a video for the I-485. Aunque tenga aseguranza, va a ser su decisión, Miss Jessica, si usted quiere meterla de seguro o sin seguro. Ana, si solo aplicas para ir a un país con AP, pero sales a otro país, ¿eso afectaría? Usted no tiene, no. El Advance Parole es un permiso para ir al país a donde usted pidió permiso. No es un permiso para poder ir a viajar a cualquier país. ¿Ok, chicos? Por favor, no hagan eso, porque van a afectar los APs del futuro. Por favor, no usen su permiso de AP como un ticket para hacer lo que ustedes quieran. El AP se pide por una razón válida, no se pide para estar viajando por cualquier razón. Please, guys, do not travel to any other countries that were not listed on your advanced parole application. Remember, when applying for advanced parole, you're applying for a valid reason, you know, humanitarian, dental, educational, work-related. So please don't ruin any future advanced parole approvals because a group of you guys decided to misuse your advanced parole. Dulce, ¿dónde dice review the notice o respond with evidence? ¿Usted ya tiene la evidencia? Respond with evidence es para responder. Review the notice es para ver lo que le mandaron a usted. Caleb, I may have put two different heights on AP documents and DACA renewal. They were both approved. If I do other USCIS applications, can this be a problem? On one document, I put 1 inch taller on accident. I'm sure that's fine. People can grow an inch or they can shrink. All right. Any other questions? Jessica, usted puede usar el que usted quiera. Ya le contesté su pregunta. ¿Cuál quiere usar? ¿Con aseguranza o el de sin aseguranza? Su decisión. All right, Karen, after biometrics, does it take long to get approved for AP? And do you know why some people don't need to get biometrics? I don't work for USCIS, so I don't know the reason or why some get biometrics and why others don't. But the whole process is pretty much the same time frame, 3 to 4 months. Just because you get your biometrics notice doesn't mean you're going to get approved soon. It's just regular standard process. Ok, ya le hice clic donde dice Review the Notice, pero no me deja verlo. No sé cuál será la razón. Usted puede llamar a USCIS mañana. All right, Caleb, if you do AP to a country that is not your country of birth, can you still do AOS after if you have someone to petition for you? Remember, when you ask for advanced parole, you're asking for a reason. So if you have a reason to go to a country that's not your birthplace, then that's valid, right? Let's say you have a work conference in Europe, but you're from Mexico. You're going to Europe for a valid reason because your work is asking you to. Let's say you apply for humanitarian reasons to go to Mexico, but you decide, I want to go to Europe, and you go to Europe. That's not okay because you're using it as a vacation purpose. If that makes sense. But yeah, if you have a valid reason to apply to another country, that is fine. Just don't misuse it. De nada. Remember, guys, do not misuse advanced parole. You get granted advanced parole for the reason that you applied for. Please make sure that you are using your document in good faith. Okay, chicos, ¿qué otras preguntas? Next, Juan, when it comes to listing other countries in your IP other than the one you're going to, are you supposed to list a reason on the affidavit to go to the other countries on the list? Or would layovers be enough for a reason? Layover is fine. If you know what country you're going to have a layover in, list it. But if at the time that you're buying your ticket and there's a layover and it's cheaper, then that's fine. You're not purposely flying to another country like to vacation, you know what I mean? Or like you're not using it and it's not for like the valid or for the reason that you applied for advance parole for. But a layover is fine. I'm talking, you know, like, oh, I got approved to Mexico. Let me go to France or something like that. All right. When I do AP through you guys, do I have to mail in anything, or how is the process done? I believe it's done virtually. But yeah, you can ask that question whenever you have the meeting or whenever you book a consult with us. But yeah, that's a good question. I think the process is done virtually, and I believe Dreamers Together sends it for you. All right, what do we text to that number for an appointment? Like we just say, yeah, you can just say, hey, my name is this. I'm requesting assistance for this, and then somebody should reach out for you. All right, so in secondary check, they run record checks. Do you know what kind of records do they run? I'm not sure what. I don't work for CBP, but if you don't have any active warrants or, hold on, my dog is barking. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of backgrounds they run. I'm sure they do run backgrounds, but if you don't have like an active warrant out for your arrest, I'm not sure if you were the one that asked if a misdemeanor is going to affect you. If your DACA is valid, then it shouldn't. It's more like, are you an active criminal? Did you commit a crime while you were out on advance parole? Dulce Salinas, una pregunta más. ¿Qué es lo más común que te piden para un RFE? Puede ser que se te olvidó certificar una traducción o tu fecha que usted solicitó ya pasó, o necesitan más información sobre el caso. Esas son las razones que hemos visto que las personas reciben un RFE, un Request for Evidence. Por eso es que es importante leer la aplicación, checar su aplicación antes de que la manden. Porque si usted no certifica algo, si usted no traduce algo, se te olvidó una firma o necesitan más información, ellos te van a mandar un RFE. El RFE no significa que su aplicación ha sido negada, solo significa que UCIS necesita más información para determinar su caso. De nada. Y recuerda leer tu RFE, léelo, porque si se te olvida mandar algo que ellos están pidiendo, te van a negar el advance parole. Damaris, if you do AP to a country that is not your country of birth, can you still do AOS? I'm not sure if you just joined our group, but yes. Yes, you can, as long as you have a legal entry. Remember, advance parole, you can apply for several different reasons, right? You don't have to go to your home country. If you have a job conference in Europe, but you're from Mexico, then that's still a valid reason. And once you return, hey, you have a legal entry. Yes, you can proceed on doing adjustment of status. I've seen other lives, but this is the first one with you that I see. Welcome. Yeah. You don't have to go to your birth country for advance parole. You can go to whatever country as long as you have a valid reason. Remember, advanced parole takes about 3 to 4 months to process. So plan ahead and plan accordingly. And remember to get your passports too, because I've seen many people complain that they haven't received their passports, but they applied for advanced parole a few months ago and they still don't have their passports. So apply for your passports, get your passports. I actually had an interview to join your team, but I have not received an answer yet. Crystal did my interview. Well, hopefully you get to join us. Hopefully you hear something soon. ¿Qué otras preguntas tienen? I'll be here in 10 more minutes. Give me 1 second. All right. So if you're doing AP for, let's say, Colombia, would listing countries surrounding it and countries on the way like Mexico as a layover acceptable? Yes, that's fine. That's fine. If you have a layover in Mexico, that's fine. In average, how long has DACA renewals taking? I don't even know an average because it could take as little as 1 week to as long as 3 months. They are all over the place, and it's annoying. Yeah, I've seen people waiting for more than a year. I don't think that's accurate if it's a renewal. If you've been waiting for more than 1 year for your renewal, you should have done something a long time ago, because waiting more than 3-4 months for a renewal is way too long. A year, your AP, your DACA probably expired already, and USCIS doesn't approve DACAs that have been expired for more than 1 year. So don't let it take more than 4 months, I would say. Yeah, that's not accurate. Yeah, only 2 days. I've seen somebody that got their DACA approved in 2 days, which is wild. My sister apparently did it more than a year ago, I think. What did she do more than a year ago? Yeah, right now DACA renewals are all over the place, and it doesn't make sense to me. That is very concerning. You said she applied for DACA for the first time, or she did a renewal last year? She definitely needs to check that her DACA has not expired for more than 1 year. If it hasn't, I would send in another application because it's taken way too long. A renewal. Yeah, definitely check on that. Call USCIS, but I would just send another application. Did she ever get a receipt? Anything? Does the AOS group do live Q&As? Yes, but not as often as we'd like. The thing about AOS is that they are the whole process is different for everybody. One can have different answers for everything. It could vary by income, by number of people in the household. A lot of variables, so it's hard. Unlike AP, it's kind of like the same across the board. But yeah, we do have lives for AOS. I'll ask our group to see when there's going to be another one. ¿Qué otras preguntas tienen, chicos? I'll be here 5 more minutes. All right. You mentioned earlier that you guys are accredited with USCIS. What does that mean? It means that USCIS gives us like a seal of approval saying, yes, this organization can file paperwork for you. We are also an accredited nonprofit and accredited with USCIS. So we can legally file forms for you because we are accredited with USCIS. Carmen Bello. Hi, I've been married to my husband for 6 years. We haven't done taxes together in the past 3 years. Is that a huge problem if I want to look into fixing my papers? I have DACA. It shouldn't be an issue. I didn't do my taxes with my husband this year because we were going to pay more if we filed together. So we decided to do it separately. But as long as you have other evidence that, or bona fide evidence that supports that you guys have been in a relationship for that long, and it shouldn't be an issue. Maris, I know a few things. I told her not to let your DACA expire. You will recruit illegal time. Yes, that's correct. Anyway, she married a U.S. citizen, and she is now going to apply for a green card, but she never did AP, and she doesn't have DACA because it expires. I told her that she probably has a permanent bar, but a lot of people, including her, do not believe it. She probably doesn't have a bar, but she needs to renew her DACA if she still can and do advanced parole so she can get a legal entry. If not, she's going to have to do consular processing. And since she has, okay, she came in illegally. Yeah, I do apologize, but I suggest you urge her because that's really it's really important that she doesn't accrue any more illegal time because she will have to do consular process if she doesn't have a legal entry or if she's not covered by 245I. Tell her to hurry up. Tell her to join the group, and hopefully she can get this sorted out. But the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. Yes, we always advise everyone to renew their DACA 3 to 4 months in advance. Unfortunately, you can only, como dice el dicho, lead a horse to water. You can't force them to drink it. We can only teach you and, inform you about the process, but we cannot force you. It's unfortunate that some people don't take their DACA seriously and take it for granted. There are several people that applied for DACA and are on hold and wish they could have DACA. So it's it's a serious matter. So let her know to join the group and let her know that she needs to renew her DACA. Too many people wish they had a DACA, so it's not okay for her to take it for granted like that. That's unfortunate. All right. I've seen people say that they don't get their documents stamped and there's no record of an I-94 when they cross back on foot from Mexico to the U.S. Why does that happen and how do you avoid it in the future? I'm not sure how you avoid it. That's why I suggest you cross by airplane, because by airplane, for sure, you're going to get your I-94. When I crossed the second time through Laredo, I didn't get an I-94. Sometimes people get a little paper and it's their I-94. It's their legal entry. I didn't get that. And I didn't get my picture taken or my fingerprints. So, yeah, I don't recommend coming back through land. If you do plan on crossing back through land, make sure you research the port of entry before crossing. CBX, I think, is a land entry, if I'm not mistaken. San Isidro is another one that is, I believe, popular. But yeah, if you plan on crossing through land, I would make a post or use our search bar for whatever bridge you're coming back through. If not, I highly, highly, highly suggest coming back by plane. All right, any other questions, chicos y chicas, before I log off? I'm here. I try to be here every Thursday. I won't be here next Thursday, but I'll be here the following, so in 2 weeks. I do lives and answer any DACA or Advanced Pro related questions. All right, next one. ¿Hay alguna forma de IP que es más rápida de aprobar, como dental or sick relatives? Una abogada me asustó hace muchos años y me dijo que me darían castigo de 10 años por haber entrado ilegalmente, y después de ahí ya no volví a preguntar, pero viendo todos los testimonios de personas de aquí me han motivado a tratar. La forma que es más rápida es la forma de Advanced Pro que se llama InfoPass. Es Advanced Pro de emergencias. Si tienes a un familiar enfermo y que es una razón de vida o muerte, tienes que agendar una cita llamando a USCIS o solicitando una cita en el internet, online. But other than that, if you don't have any relatives that's on, matter of death, then you can just do the normal Advanced Parole, and it takes 3 to 4 months. So the process is pretty fast. But yeah, fire your lawyer, don't use that lawyer, and follow our guides, or you can send a text to this number to get a one-on-one. Soledad, Carmen Bello, lawyer said if you are married, you need to do your taxes together with your husband. False, you don't have to. I didn't do it with my husband this year. I did it last year. That doesn't mean that you're not married. You have other bona fide marriage. If you have other bona fide proof, like living together, having a house together, having kids together, if you don't do your taxes, that's not the end of the world. That's false, Soledad. Sí, por eso me daba miedo también. Yeah, that's false. I didn't file my taxes with my husband this year because we were going to pay more. But hey, you do what you have to do. You have a 6-year-old. You're a parent. You've been together for I don't know how long. That's more than enough proof. You live together. You have insurance together. You have phones together. Like what? Taxes? Yeah, Soledad, that's false. Join our AOS group, AOS-Streamers Together. We have guides there as well. Carmen, I suggest you do Advanced Parole. It looks like you have some very valid reasons, like sick relative. ¿Qué más dijiste? Dental. Yeah. There's no room to be scaring people. Lawyers that scare people don't have the best your best interests in mind. A lawyer should be able to advocate for you, should be able to make you feel sure about your case. They should be able to, definitely not scare you or tell you that you're going to be barred for 10 years. And a great lawyer like Charles Cuck and the other lawyers that we have on this group should be up to date on matters such as Advanced Parole. A lot of lawyers still don't know about Advanced Parole, and if they do, they have it completely wrong. Dice, me dijo que mi caso era más complicado, pero nunca me he metido en problemas. Why would it be more complicated? Siempre reporto taxes and I try to do everything right. If you're a good law-abiding citizen and you just didn't file your taxes with your husband, that's not a reason that you're not going to get approved. My lawyer never told me about InfoPass when my grandma passed away. I'm sorry. Yes, like I said, a lot of lawyers may know, I know about Advanced Parole, but they don't know about Advanced Parole. I am very sorry about that. I wish I knew about advanced parole when my grandfather passed away too, years ago when it was a thing. See, that's the thing. We don't talk about it, so the information doesn't spread. But now that we know, I always tell all my friends, all my family members, share it on Facebook because everybody should know and have this information. Let's not gatekeep valuable information. Caleb, is it risky DACA recipients to drive in Texas with a driver's license? Is it risky? I feel that Texas, it's up to the officer. They want to get Border Patrol. That's fear-mongering. That's completely wrong. Lois, that's when I decided to come here. I am very glad that you came here, Lois. We are very happy to have you. Yes, let's not fear-monger. I live in Texas. I've gotten in a little fender bender. Just because you get in a little accident does not mean that they're going to call Border Patrol on you. Please don't spread that information. La Cruz, mi hermano tenía DACA, pero tuvo un DUI hace 5 años. Mi pregunta es, ¿puede él volver a aplicar? No. Desafortunadamente, si pasó más de un año y no pudo arreglar lo del DUI, no va a poder aplicar otra vez porque por el momento no están procesando aplicaciones nuevas y como él ha dejado que se caducara por más de 5 años, cuenta como nueva. I'm not trying to fearmonger. Mi suegro never wanted my wife to drive because of this. That's unfortunate and a very, I don't want to say feeble way of thinking, but it's just not accurate. We as DACA recipients have legal stay for 2 years, and that does not mean that we cannot drive in the state of Texas. As a woman, I've been driving for 10 years in Texas, and yeah, that's not a good way of thinking. Let's learn and let's educate our family members as well, and let's empower ourselves with accurate information. All right, chicos, any other questions? Any other questions, chicos? If not, los veo en 2 semanas. We do have other members that hop on here throughout the week. Sometimes we get lives from Charles or other legal team members. A ver, espérate. Esta va a ser la última. Lola, mi mamá hace 20 años que entró a los USA sin ninguna salida. ¿Ella puede aplicar para arreglar documentos? Es posible, pero dependiendo de la manera que entró, si entró ilegalmente, o sea, ya sin visa, va a tener que hacer el proceso consular. Es cuando regresa al país y cumple el castigo ilegal. Ok, entonces va a tener que hacer el proceso consular. Muchos de nuestros padres entraron de esa forma y no tienen manera de arreglar. La única manera sería si uno de sus hijos están en el militar, ya sea Navy, Army, puede arreglar por PIP, Parole in Place. O si ella está casada con un ciudadano, hay un permiso, un waiver que se llena. Pero si no tiene ninguna de esas cosas, va a tener que cumplir el castigo en su país. Okay, that's going to be it for today. I'll be here. I'll see you guys again in a couple of weeks. Nos vemos. No se olviden de leer las guías. Don't forget to read the guides. Ciao.